Hello, my name is Hernandez, and I'm a nutrition student in the Introduction to Nutrition Counseling class at the University of Houston. This is part of an assignment in which I am practicing being a nutrition counselor. Do you give me permission to videotape this assignment?
Yes.
Do you give me permission to show this videotape to the class?
Yes.
Three of my classmates, possibly one dietetic intern, and my instructor might also see this and create the video. Is that permissible?
Yes.
All right, cool. Thank you. So, thank you for agreeing to do this session with me. I know we talked about like losing weight and diet changes and running and stuff like that. I just want to see like where you're at with that right now.
Yeah, so for like the last couple of weeks, I've been kind of getting back into running and stuff. Um, and for the first week or two was kind of focused on like just building a foundation of like actually working out. Just like getting my body used to like doing cardio and stuff again. And then like the last week or so, I've really tried to like ramp it up and actually run. So
Nice. Yeah. Can you tell me like more about that? Like where the running like stemmed from? Like why you wanted to continue running?
yeah, so I gained a bunch of weight like coming into college because I graduated during the COVID year. Came to college like my first year, all my classes were online and stuff like that. I came to campus anyways, and I ended up like going to the dining hall a ton, eating a ton, and so I guess 2021 I decided I wanted to try and join the Air Force, and so yeah, I lost about 60 pounds trying to join the Air Force. I One of the biggest parts of like trying to pass like that, like the physical fitness test. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I think it was called PFT or something like that. Was like running and like the 1.5 mile time specifically. So in order to try and get like my 1.5 mile time down to like what it needed to be competitive, I decided like the easiest way to make 1.5 miles easy was like be able to run a lot. And so I ended up really enjoying running, and I got really into it. Got up to I think had like 9.5 to 10 miles was my longest run that summer, and then ended up not really being a competitive candidate like I thought I was, in terms of like what my major was versus what they were looking for. And so yeah, I ended up just kind of falling back into like bad eating habits, stopped working out because like I didn't really see a point in doing it because like I had done it for so long and like the benefits weren't there, at least the way I thought they should be at the time. And so yeah, and then realized I missed it and wanted to come back and try it again.
Yeah. Like weight history. Like you said, like you lost weight, gained weight. Like what was that like?
Yeah, so I lost 60 pounds while trying to join the Air Force. I was at about 190, got to about 130, because I think the max weight was either 155 or 160, like in between 155 and 165, at least from what I remember it. And so, yeah, I moved by that a lot quicker than I thought I would. But it's like mainly because I wasn't eating as much as I should have. Like I would try and keep it under like 1,200 calories. So I lost weight really quickly because I was like running and also like not eating a ton. Um, and it wasn't anything, I guess, like I wasn't like trying to starve myself or anything like that. It was just like I thought that was like no one had told me at that point that wasn't like a healthy calorie deficit or anything like that. So yeah, I lost all that weight and then got back up to 190 over the course of the next like year and a half or so. Um, just from like eating normal portions again, but also like eating bad food again. And then yeah, I got back up to 190. I'm at about 180, 182 right now. So
So yeah. So what you're saying is like, oh, like when I was running, I would only eat this amount because it was like I need to eat this amount and this amount or only, and I can't really enjoy it because it's like gonna cause me to gain weight versus like when you weren't, you were just eating just because it felt good. It was nice to have, and like
yeah,
it
and
was
so
just normal.
yeah, when I get into like that mindset of like I need to like make a change and I start working out more, I do just tend to eat like I'm not dieting really, but I tend to eat better just because like I don't want to go on my runs like feeling sick or like feeling weighed down or anything like that. And then yeah, when I'm not running, I kind of go out and do whatever. So
Yeah. And that was really inspiring too. You lost 60 pounds. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Um,
it was inspiring. It's not.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say like, did you have like a family history that came along with any like weight gain or any like thing like
Yeah.
that?
So my dad kind of like struggled with obesity for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he was, so he's 45 now. When he was like 42, he decided just to like go all in. And he is kind of like David Goggins now. Like he'll go out. When I went home this last week because I was sick, he did like a 25-mile bike ride, 25 3-mile bike ride.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll come home, drop the bike off, like go to the gym and like lift for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if he's not like running or at the gym for like 2 or 3 hours, like really every single day but Sunday, um, it like throws him off.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was really inspiring to see like, because my dad at one point was like close to 400 pounds,
Oh wow.
and now it's sitting at like 170.
Oh wow. That's
Um,
a
yeah,
great change.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so and he's like he's a very quick runner. Like he did a half marathon, and I think his pace was like almost under 9.
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
Yeah, especially for being like 45 when he did it.
Yeah.
And it was his quickest half marathon ever because he had kind of done the same thing like in his 20s, took his health really seriously,
Mm-hmm.
and was really into running and stuff, and then like kind of fell out of it in his 30s and early 40s, and now is like back at it. And so seeing him like be in shape, not be in shape, and be in shape again, like I kind of want to follow like that same.
You're kind of like
Yeah.
the same track.
Yeah.
Are you doing like what are you doing like right now to be on that track like your dad?
Yeah, so I have like a Nike Run Club that I actually just started today because it like fit in with the race date.
Mm-hmm.
Because like my race isn't like I'm trying to do a half marathon. It's not until April, and so like the max time for the plan started this week. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so like today it was a 15-minute recovery run. Tomorrow's 27 minutes of intervals. Thursday is a 25-minute recovery run. Friday is a 28-minute fartlek, and then Sunday is a 5K.
Nice.
And so then, like, yeah, I think next week it's like the same kind of stuff, just increasing the distance.
Is the intervals like short distance run like 8 400s or like
No,
400s
from
like,
what I remember, so I did the Nike Run Club app to get me up to a 10K a couple summers ago,
mm-hmm.
and what I remember from I think it was like a 5K plan actually. I don't think you do 10K plans. But anyway, what I remember from that is like, it's time I think. So it'll be like 3 minutes of running, a minute of walking, and then
yeah, okay.
yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. I know like when I did cross country and track too, and some of our interval runnings we would do like a lot of short distance stuff. We would do like you do like 6 400s and get them under like I don't know 70 seconds or something like that. And that was really helpful for me at least. I would that would help like start of races, like my start and then like my endings as well. So
Yeah,
that might be nice to incorporate as well.
yeah, definitely. I think in order to keep myself consistent, I need to focus less on like my time because when I was like really training to be in the Air Force, towards the end I was like seeing really good times. I guess like relative to where I was, because like I was always like I've always been kind of like a shorter, bigger guy. So like in sports, I was always like either a lineman or when I got too short for that, I was like a fullback. In baseball, I was like pitcher and first base because I was never quick enough to be like outfield. And so yeah, it was always like that's how I saw myself. And so never took running seriously. And then towards the end, I got my 5K time to about 22 minutes, which was like really good for me because like I've always been really slow. And then now it's like not even gonna touch that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm really just trying to focus on like getting the distance there rather than like because if I start comparing myself to where I was, I'll be like, there's no point.
It's just
like giving up.
Yeah, is it more like an emotional thing, like seeing yourself like in the past? You're like, oh man, like I don't want to fall back into that.
Yeah, I think it's also like even though I had those bad habits, like when it came to my diet, like seeing how consistent I was with running and seeing like what I was able to do. Um, you know, I guess I just like I wish that I could just like go right back into it, but it's not really how it works. So.
Yeah. With all this like exercising and running and stuff, like you're obviously gonna be very hungry. So like, what's your like diet been like? If you've like been able to recall what it's like.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been relatively inconsistent. Mainly because like this is like it's kind of been like a unique semester and how busy I've been. And so on days where like I have a lot of time, I go and I like will meal prep and stuff like that. For lunches, it's been really easy to meal prep. So I usually eat pretty healthy for lunch. And, like breakfast and lunch are usually pretty easy to do. It's like dinner where it's like at the end of the day, I don't have a lot of time. Yeah, and I don't just cook. Yeah, and so those have been the hardest ones, and that's where I see the most inconsistency.
What would be like an everyday like breakfast or lunch since those are pretty consistent?
I would say like either oatmeal for breakfast, like oatmeal, eggs, Cheerios are like my go-to. Yeah. Not all three, but like, what?
Just switch it.
Yeah, yeah. So like if I get tired of oatmeal, I do like instant oats because it really is just so easy. Yeah, just like cup of each, microwave for a minute, and it's perfect. Eggs also same thing. Like I'll just scramble the eggs and like put some green onion on it and like bam.
Just scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then Cheerios same like because I'm not a great cook and I don't like to spend a lot of time doing it. Especially like I live with a lot and like the kitchen and stuff is so small, and so it's like we have like only two of my like stovetops work, and so like and they're the smallest ones.
Oh.
So I can't if I'm cooking I can't do more than like one thing at a time.
Yeah, you gotta like wait.
Yeah. So
this.
Yeah. So I stick to like really really easy stuff.
And then like dinner is more consistent. Like, what would you say would be like an average dinner? I guess.
I think it's so inconsistent. There is no average. Yeah.
It could be like grilled chicken. It could be like McDonald's. Like
yeah.
Like that.
Not McDonald's.
Okay.
No. I'm just playing. It's just it's like probably the only place I don't eat. Yeah. No. Like, a couple of nights ago we DoorDashed Pizza Hut, and then like the night before that we had like grilled chicken and mushroom. And so like it's
it could vary. It could be.
Yeah, because it's just like it's one of those things that just like depends on like how much time and a desire I have to cook. Because like Wednesdays I'm in class pretty much from like 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And so like the last thing I want to do on that day is like come back and spend 45 minutes. Yeah, like
45 minutes, to, like an hour and a half cooking. Like,
yeah,
something like nutritious versus something that's like fast and easy and free.
Yeah, and especially because like I don't know, this might sound dumb, but like I'm not like super into food if that makes sense. So for me it's like if it tastes good or if it doesn't taste good, like that's one thing that makes dieting easier. I think for me is like like I can just eat like low seasoned chicken and rice like as a white guy, and so like the last thing I want to do is like cook for a long time and then eat it and be like that's it, like I spent an hour on this.
I really was in class all day and I have to eat this.
Yeah, because like I would take chicken and rice over like the hour long meal that I made.
Yeah, for sure. I know for sure something that could be like beneficial since you're running too would be like pasta. And I know like you said like cooking might be a factor, but like pasta's easy.
Yeah.
Do a little 5 minute, 10-minute spaghetti, little meatballs, pretty
good.
I was gonna say too, like on a scale of like 1 to 10, like how like willing are you to change like your diet, your running plan? Like what would you say?
I think I'm probably at a 10 when it comes like changing my diet because it's not that I don't want to diet. It's just like
time constraint.
Yeah, time, but also like it feels very expensive to like buy healthy food a lot of time. And I know that there are like cheap-ish ways to do it, but like working and going to school, it feels like it's just so much cheaper to buy like bad food.
Yeah.
And like it feels like it lasts a lot longer than
like frozen stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And so yeah, I would say that those are probably the two biggest things. It's not like I'm not willing to, and like it's something that I have adjusted to. But like I said, like we'll meal prep and I'll eat chicken and rice like every day for lunch. And, like
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Like it's
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say chicken and rice is really healthy, so I mean,
yeah,
that's for sure something good to keep up.
yeah. And so it's it's something like I'm willing to do. Um, but yeah, like I'm willing to change it. I just like and I know what I need to do. I just don't do it. It's like better works. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think like when it comes to working out, um, I just like I don't know. My days just feel so long and exhausting that it's like you know. I definitely like a bad habit I have is like I want the conditions to be perfect. Like when I go run, which is like looking back, I think part of the reason like I was able to be so consistent when it came to like the Air Force and stuff was because I did a Spartan race back in like April or May of that year when I was at home for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And so, uh, like I'm not gonna like lie to you, like I was this super disciplined guy. Like woke up at 5 a.m. Like I wasn't on like my like Rocky training montage or anything like that. Like I think what made it so easy is I would go to bed early, but I would just wake up like naturally at 8 a.m. Just like
Yeah.
go run.
Just cause like, yeah, you're like,
I had nothing to do. Yeah.
time to do this because I got nothing else to
Yeah, because I would work like mid shifts. I would work like 12 to 8. So I was like, okay,
do. Oh, okay.
I just need to wake up by like 9
Uh,
to go get my run in and like get ready for work. Whereas now, like I have a puppy, and so like I have to walk him, and he's on like a strict schedule, and he for whatever reason like he sticks to that himself too. Like he gets mad if he's not on that.
dude, dogs and cats definitely have like an internal clock.
Yeah, yeah. Like I haven't slept past 7 a.m. in weeks just because like
Just because I'm hungry.
yeah, he'll start barking. Yeah. And so yeah, I have to like kind of build time around that and like class and work and all that stuff. So it's like, you know, getting up to go run is like, because I'll wake up exhausted, and then I guess like that's where the bad habit kicks in. It's like, oh well, like would I really get a lot out of this run anyways? Yeah. And I convince myself that like somehow it's better to like not run.
Yeah,
it's like, it's like have a bad run or bad run.
Yeah, and like how you said too, like Wednesdays are in class from like 9 to 8, and like
yeah,
no one's trying to run.
Yeah, exactly.
Afterward or before that. So,
yeah.
Yeah, and I think maybe like being something that could be helpful would be like you said like at the lofts, maybe like using the elliptical there. That way, like you don't have to go out, but you're still getting some sort of exercise, and like it's close as well. The treadmill, do they have free weights?
No, actually, we only have an elliptical and a bike.
Yeah, maybe like investing in free weights too could help as well.
Yeah,
like
the whole gym.
Yeah, just invest in the whole gym. I remember like in class we talked about like SMART goals, and they were like they each had like their own like word for that. So like I remember like S was specific. Like what would be like a specific goal that you're trying to attain right now?
I think a specific goal is running a 10K before the end of the year. Just because like that was the longest racing distance I had ever done. My plan was to jump from 10K to half marathon, and yeah, I never got from 10K to half marathon. So I think getting back to a 10K would like take away that mental block that I have when it comes to like getting back into shape.
And you were saying earlier like you're training already for that as well too, right?
Yeah. So I'm not like super far in, so I'm not gonna like sit here and be like we're so back. But
like yeah, you said you just like got the app today or something, or not got the app, but like started the plan.
Yeah, started the plan today because like before I got sick, I was doing really good about like going to the gym, making time for it, and yeah, I got sick and I kind of killed the momentum.
Hit a roadblock.
Yeah, but
we're back afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. I guess it feels good because it's not like I found myself realizing like, oh, actually like I want to do this still, but like I'm still a little stuffed up, and so not today. Like I did my run today, but
nice.
I'm on the back end of it. So like when I was really sick, I was like, no, this would not be good for me.
It's a good idea too.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't want to.
Yeah, because that's something like I remember when I was like trying to join the Air Force. I got my second COVID booster, or my second COVID shot, the one before the booster, like your last one.
Okay, yeah.
And so, like, you know how like the first or the second one hits you really hard depending on like when you had it.
Yeah, the first one definitely.
Yeah, so like I had never had COVID, so the second one hit me really hard.
Oh.
And so I remember I got it, and I got all the symptoms like got a headache, and I had chills and a fever, and like felt like a fever.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember this so vividly because I was like, I don't know, I wanted to prove how like dedicated I was. But like for whatever, I got home and I ate a piece of cookie cake, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna rest today. And then like an hour later, I was like, no, I'm not gonna rest today. And this was like mid June, and so like 4 p.m. it was like 105, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, you know, I literally I felt like I had COVID, um, which now I've had COVID twice. Like, I know what that feels like. So it definitely felt like that, and I still had that like cookie cake in my stomach, and I was like, I'm gonna run 5K, just like prove that I'm dedicated. And I had to call my parents to come get me because I was like throwing up on the side of the road. And I was like, yeah. And so, um, you know, getting back into running when I was sick this weekend, I was like, we're not doing that again.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Good discipline.
Yeah.
Um, I guess like M with the SMART goals, like something that's measurable. I think earlier you were explaining how you wanted like a specific time or like a specific like pace. What would that be? Like anything measurable for you?
Actually, so for the measurable one, it's just to do it, just to do the 6.2. Yeah, because like last time, I think my pace was a little bit, just barely over 9 minutes, if not 9 minutes, for the 10K that I did in like the last race I did. And so I know like no matter what I do, like I won't be at that level, at least before the end of the year. And so you know, kind of making sure I don't give up because if my goal is like I want my pace to be similar to that. Like it just won't be because that was month 7 of training at that point versus like what'll be month 2.
Yeah.
This time,
Yeah. And I think that's pretty achievable for you. Like I said, like the A in SMART goals is achievable, and like what would be achievable. But based off of that, it sounds achievable. Like you said, you did Spartan races, you did the 10K before. Like, would you say that it's achievable?
Yeah, I think so. Especially because like I guess one good thing is maybe the only good thing about my inconsistency is like for whatever reason I have ran just enough over the past 2 years, despite gaining weight, despite like not consistently working out at all. I have ran just enough to be able to do a 5K. Mm-hmm. Like I did a 5K about a month or two ago.
The 22-minute one.
No. That was back in 2020. No, my 5K last time was really bad. It was about 36, 37, something like that. So, so yeah, I know I'm building off of the base of like I can do a 5K. Yeah, it won't look good and like,
but like I've done it before.
Yeah, and I've done it recently, and I'm doing one Sunday, so I'll know then.
But you'll know where
you're at.
Yeah. Hopefully by then you're feeling a little better too.
Yeah, definitely.
So the R for SMART goals is relevant. Like what's like relevant to you that'll help you out achieving this goal?
Yeah, so like I said, I think it'll help me overcome that like mental roadblock. Mm-hmm. I'm training for like a half marathon in April. So I think this is like, kind of that next step. And so back when I had gotten into shape before, I signed up for a bunch of half marathons, and didn't end up doing them. So it was like really, really, really embarrassing. Like actually probably like one of the most embarrassing moments of my life was like getting those emails like enter your bib number to see like your photos from the race because like I signed up for like the Houston half marathon and the Chevron full marathon and didn't do either of them. So not only was like the money sunk into that I didn't do, but also it was like, because like it's a huge event, and it like a lot of people get really excited for it, and I was really excited for it, but I didn't do it. And so they'd send you about I guess total like 10 to 15 emails from each event, and so getting those and just being reminded like continually throughout that weekend, like
it was just like a big weight.
Yeah,
like, kind of hit you all at once.
Yeah, so I gotta finish that journey. Like I don't know, like it won't feel right until I do.
Yeah, for sure. Like that does like really suck knowing that like, oh, like I was so prepared, so ready for this, and then like seeing those emails, like it's really emotional and just like really brings you down. But it's good to see that you recognize that and you're ready to make a change. So that's really good. And then I guess for T would be time management. Like, how would you like describe like your timeline getting into the marathon running? Like, where would you be at like right
Yeah, so right now, I would say a 5K is probably about my max.
now? Mm-hmm.
So I think that building up to a 10K sometime in December is probably pretty doable.
Mm-hmm.
Gives me, I guess, about 7 weeks at the most, which I think I can do. A half marathon by April, um, just based on how, cause like last time I got into shape, I was actually like a little worse in shape than I am right now, just because like I have about 3 weeks of like cardio and stuff like that, but also just because like even before that I was like eating a little bit better. But anyways, so you know I knew that it took me last time about 4 months to get up to like 7 8 miles.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty confident that 2 months with where I'm at right now will be enough to get there. And then yeah, in April I'm gonna do half. I think because I was gonna do one in March, but I'm getting married that day. So
Okay.
yeah.
Definitely gonna wait for that.
Yeah, yeah, it's not something you can really reschedule. Not that I want to, but and then yeah. So and then at some point, I don't really have any plans for a marathon right now. Um, I do want to do one as like an idea, but I don't want to set any deadlines for that. Just because like if I say like, oh, I want to do an October full marathon, you know, um, maybe after the half I decide I want to like transition, to like triathlon. You know what I mean? I just want to give myself options.
You want to like gradually go up.
Yeah.
And see where you're at versus like doing everything at once and then possibly going through the same situation, like getting disappointed again.
Yeah, and that's my problem is like it's very all or nothing. Like before, like in the spring actually, I was like I'm marathon before the end of the year, which I could have. Like if I started in March and I'd been consistent, I'd probably be, roughly ready for that. With like extreme consistency, but like I'd be looking at 26.2 miles, and I guess I just had to accept that I wasn't where I was when I was running before.
Yeah.
And so, I would be like, okay, we're gonna go for a 4 mile run, and I couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, well, how am I gonna do 20? Like, which is stupid, right? Like, obviously to build up to a marathon, but in my mind, I was like, well, I can't even do 4. I'll never do a marathon.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just like keeping myself grounded to like the biggest thing in the world to me right now is that 5K Sunday, and then after the 5K on Sunday,
you could go to April.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, just keeping it small, like working out.
Yeah, that's definitely a healthy like mindset. Being able to recognize like I'm not gonna be 100% ready to go the marathon on day one.
Yeah.
And like knowing that like I need to gradually go up and up and up. So I think it's really good, really healthy. I was gonna say like, is there anything like emotionally like holding you back, or like any like emotionally like eating wise that may be holding you back from like achieving any goals that you've been setting?
Yeah, I wouldn't say eating wise. I don't think so. I've never really been someone like I don't really stress eat or like when I'm upset I don't really eat. Like that's not really been a problem for me. I guess it almost feels more inexcusable because like I know exactly what I need to be doing. I just don't do it. Which I guess is why I'm making that switch from like that's how I was able to like literally just one day I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna join the Air Force.
Yeah.
And just for the next 7 months, like literally like from that day, I remember I was in New Orleans and I was like, guys, I'm gonna do this. And I did it. Or like I got into the shape I needed to be to do it. And I think it's because like I know what I need to do. So when I apply that knowledge, like that's fine. But I guess the emotional part of it is knowing like I was there, and so like seeing all of my results, because like with running, I feel like it's very tangible. Like exactly where you're at. Like
for sure.
When it comes to how far you can run it, and how quick you can run it, and so like getting back into it is really tough because like, how you always hear like don't compare yourself to other people, like compare yourself to you, right? But for me, it's almost like comparing myself to who I was feels almost like another person.
It feels almost like even more detrimental.
Yeah, because it's like,
I used to be at this place and I'm not right now.
So. Yeah, and it's not even like I'm not comparing myself to like what's this? I forgot his name.
Like Usain Bolt or someone.
Yeah. But it's me, so I feel like I should be allowed to compare myself to me, but like I can't because then like it's just not realistic, and that's what leads to like quitting. So getting over that roadblock and just I guess stripping myself of that ego and saying like, hey, like this is what I gotta do, and just doing it.
Yeah, and yeah, we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, like that's good, like healthy, like mindset of like where you're at right now. Like, oh man, like that used to be me, but I know like with time and with the work that I'm putting in, I can be that person again. And
Yeah.
I don't gotta be like worried that like I'm not there yet because
Yeah, definitely.
it'll come, and
Yeah.
it sounds like you're working at it. It sounds like it is really achievable, and I think you got it through.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
So I was gonna say, is there anything else that you want to go over?
No, no, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for sure. Thank you for coming along. And yeah, I think we'll also do a follow-up visit as well. So
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I appreciate you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
man.